I'm sitting here staring at a mountain, which is quite interesting because if you don't know me, I'm a nomad. So I'm absolutely aware that this staring at the mountain is temporary for me. I've got a month and a half left and then I move on. And I have the ability to keep my mind where I want my mind to be in the present moment. And I was sitting here going, it's such a gift that I've learned to do that. And I was reflecting on some of the beautiful moments that I had this morning while walking to the beach. And I don't want to keep them to myself. I want to share them. Because maybe you struggle to keep your mind in the present moment. Maybe there's so much going on in your life, which is so absolutely fair, that you don't even remember that you got from point A to point B because your mind is in all these places in the past, doing if only, could have, should have, would have, maybe, or very likely in the future. What if only, what if, how do I know, how do I, what do I, what's gonna happen, what could happen, da da da. And I never used to be as calm as I am. And I actually had a friend once asked me, Jo, are you really as happy as you look online? And I am. Because when I bring myself into the present moment and I pay attention, and I honestly believe that everything's an adventure, even though there's so much going on, and there's a lot going on in my life, I don't allow my mind to distract me from being in the present moment, and it takes work, it takes training to do that. So my wish is that in sharing these beautiful moments that I got to see today, and the day kind of started off a little offbeat just with timing, and then it ended up being perfect timing, that you give yourself the opportunity to reflect, not even reflect, just be present and catch yourself to be present in the teeniest, tiniest little moments. So I woke up this morning to a message that I'd missed from my neighbor to say, I'm going to the beach. And when I opened the curtain, I was like, oh, I know I've missed such a beautiful sunrise, because she left maybe 15 minutes before I woke up. So there was a bit of disappointment to start. I was like, oh, I can't believe I missed the sunrise. And as I walked out of the house, the very first thing that I saw was 2 overnight nursing staff who were leaving an old age home that's literally a couple of houses up from where I'm currently house sitting. And they had worked all night. Their life choice, them feeling purposeful is to care for someone. And even if that's not the story and they couldn't find any other work, and maybe they're frustrated with it, maybe they don't like it so much, someone in that house needed care and they were there, and I loved seeing that. So I got to say good morning, and literally the next house there were 2 kids in the garden. It's Easter Sunday. There were 2 kids in the garden and Dad standing by the front door with little baskets that had ribbons on, and they were doing an Easter hunt. It was just so precious. And what I love about that, and what I'm grateful for about me, is that I don't relate to faith. I don't even know really how to say it. I absolutely relate to faith, but I'm also trying not to say but. So I'm going to replace that. I'm going to say and. The religious holidays for me, I do not connect to. However, I am so grateful that it is in my nature to be absolutely respectful of everybody else's beliefs. So I took it all in and shouted Happy Easter to the kids, and they were so excited, and it was just so wonderful. And I then got to the beach. It's such a beautiful beach, and it was perfect timing, which I would have missed if I had gone earlier with my neighbor. And the fishermen had come in, and there were a whole lot of people literally waiting for the fishermen to pull the fish from the nets and hand it to people who were going to take those fish home, clean those fish, cut them up, chop their heads off, chop the tails off. And I'm vegan. And I stood there. There's a process that I do in my coaching called faith. The ability to not let the mind take over you and for you to manage your mind. And one of the steps is acceptance. And a big part of acceptance for me is accepting my choice and then not interfering in anybody else's choice. So I pride myself, and I could feel it, in going, it's not okay for me and my beliefs to eat these fish that are being caught. It's also not okay for me to judge anybody else. And then the next beautiful moment happened. When I carried on walking, the fisherman boat was bouncing around in the water, like in the sand. They had heaved it up enough so it wouldn't wash away. And it was just so beautiful in the sunlight. And on my way, I caught up with a neighbor, which was also so lovely, such special timing. And on my way back, we stopped, and I watched these fishermen heave, and I'm telling you, heave. I'm actually going to post the video. Heave the boat. It took, I can't even tell you how many to heave that boat. And if those people hadn't come and stood and waited for those fish to come in, they wouldn't have a job. I watched them do that for a living. It was just really so special. So we sat and watched that for a while. Can you just feel all the presence? And this is I just want to share the things that I was thinking of while I'm sipping on my coffee, and knowing that there's so many of you who really might struggle just to have a cup of coffee and not be haunted by fear, which I completely empathize with. And as we were about to leave, we got up, and there's a beautiful area there's this cordon off area of the beach that's only for the people, and then there's another section that's for the doggies. And I love the dog. I mean, I absolutely just love the beach when it comes to animals on the beach. And such an amazing act of kindness is going to sound so simple. Such an amazing act of kindness is someone picked up a ball, and they were like, whose ball? Someone's dog has lost their ball. And the woman who responded, I could see in every fiber of her being, she was like, oh, thank goodness I didn't go home without that ball. And I just thought, imagine being a little kid, you lose your teddy and you can cry, Mom, I left my teddy somewhere. Or you lose your blankie and you can go, Mom, I forgot my blankie. And they just, that's how much that, she just knew if she went home without the ball, that dog would be really upset. I know I've been talking for long, but I really wanted to share this because, and I want to do more of this, because this is what makes me happy. And you don't have to come to me for coaching. I'd love you to. I love being a self-awareness coach. I've just realized I don't share enough of the moments that make me self-aware. So this was beautiful for me. I hope it was as beautiful for you if you stuck around and listened. Okay, whatever you're doing, try to be a little bit present in the moment. Manage the mind so that the mind doesn't manage you.